Hello everybody, Interi back again with another video. And today's topic, guys, will be why I am not excited about this Federer-Nadal match in the semifinals that we have in French Open in 2 days on Friday. Yeah, guys, why I'm not as excited as many tennis people around the world who are waiting for this clash of the titans between the most successful tennis players of all time when it comes to the Grand Slam titles. Federer has won, like we all know, 20 Grand Slam titles, and Rafael Nadal, like we all know, has won 17 Grand Slam titles. Together, these two great giants have 37 Grand Slam titles. So, guys, why do I not feel as excited as many tennis fans, tennis lovers around the world? It's pretty simple, guys, and I'm gonna explain to you. As a tennis lover like I am, as a tennis guru like I am, I feel excited when for example, I'm gonna just give you some examples. When I watch sport, guys, and which is of course most tennis, and sometimes also soccer, but that is just a little bit of what I watch. But tennis is the majority of the sport that I watch. Tennis is my passion. I like to watch matches that they are not predictable. I like to watch matches that I don't know the outcome of. I like to watch matches that I don't know the winner on. Before I start to watch a tennis match, I want to see which of the players will win the match. You know what I mean? For example, all of Rafa's 5 matches that he has won in French Open, I have not watched one single match, the whole match. I have just watched a couple of games here and there, because I don't see a pleasure watching a player destroy other opponents. That doesn't give me any excitement. I know that the guy will win 3-0 or as worse 3-1. I know that the couple of the first opponents that Rafa has faced in French Open, they will never threat him. Never. Just the only way Rafa can lose, could have lost to this kind of opponents that he has faced in French Open, it would have been if he got injured or something like that. That was the only way. In tennis terms, in tennis skills, nobody of those 5 opponents would never have threatened Nadal, and which they have not. The only match that I saw little on Nadal of was the David Goffin match, and not the first 2 sets. No. The 3rd set, when I saw that David Goffin started to get his teeth in the 3rd set, I watched it. Let's face it, guys, that's what sport is all about. To see excitement, unpredictable tennis matches. Not to see predictable tennis matches. That's why the French Open, the last 13 to 14 years, has been the most easiest predictable Grand Slam tournament to predict. This year, and a couple of years ago, I'm going to tell which year, and the 2015 year. I'm going to tell you something, guys, that I've never told you before. The 2015 year in French Open was the first time that I didn't have Rafa Nadal as the favorite to win French Open. The 2015. I have never mentioned this before, and I'm going to mention it now. It was the first time in my whole life that I told to my friends, to people who know me, that when they asked me who do you believe will win the French Open 2015, I didn't say Rafael Nadal's name, because I really didn't believe that Rafa will win that year French Open, which he didn't. I said that Novak Djokovic would win, which Novak didn't win either. He lost to Stan Wawrinka in that final, like we all remember. But he at least defeated Nadal in that quarterfinals. Because I felt that year that was the first ever year in French Open since 2005, when Rafa won for the first time, that tournament, 10 years later, from 2005 to 2015, Rafa was not the overwhelming favorite. Rafa was not even the favorite in that year, in my opinion. Because I felt that Novak Djokovic was on a roll. He had won Australian Open. He just felt on a rise in his tennis career. He felt that he was on his peak of his tennis career. He felt the favorite to me. That was the first time that I had another player that would win the French Open in 10 years, in 2015. And now this year is the second time, in 2019, that Rafa Nadal is not the overwhelming favorite like he used to be from 2005 to 2019, besides that 2015 year when he lost to Novak Djokovic. Rafa is of course very difficult to defeat on clay, but Novak Djokovic is the only player who can beat him this year. I really believe that, and that's why. Even I want to add one more thing. Even that year when Rafa won the French Open for the first time in 2005, I actually had Rafa as the favorite to win that tournament. I really had, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't want to come out from the topic. The first time I ever saw Rafa Nadal play tennis, it was the 2005 Miami Open final against Roger Federer. That was the first time, and I knew immediately there that this is a future Grand Slam champion, a future world number one, and a future one of the greatest tennis players of all time. I could see immediately there, because he was so good already. 18 years old. He was so good. I think he was 18. Yeah, he was 18 years old in 2005 when he faced Roger Federer in that 2005 Miami Open final. His birthday is on June, like we all know. So he was not 19 years old yet in that Miami Open final against Roger Federer in 2005. So he was 18 years old still, and to be able to push Roger Federer that hard and almost defeated him. He was 2-0 up, and he was only 2 points away in that third set tiebreak of defeating Roger Federer in that 2005 Miami Open final. And in the 1 year earlier, he defeated Roger Federer in 2004 Miami Open. But that match I didn't saw. I didn't saw that match. But in 2005 I saw that final, and I knew immediately there. I could see that this guy is a big deal. He was so competitive. He was so solid with both forehand and backhand. He did so little unforced errors already back then, and I just could imagine in my mind that if he is so difficult to defeat on a hard court, how in earth will the players defeat him on clay in a slow surface? So already in 2005, Rafa Nadal was my favorite to win French Open, and he did. Anyway, I don't want to come out from the topic. Why I am not feeling excited between this Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal match that we have on Friday in French Open? Because I know the outcome, guys. I know the outcome. Roger Federer needs a miracle to defeat Rafa Nadal. Yes, some people around the social medias and on YouTube, they are saying that Roger Federer has a chance. Yeah, he has a chance to take one set. Yes, I'm giving Roger Federer that. He is, after all, Roger Federer, the most successful tennis player of all time in the Grand Slams. He has won 20 Grand Slams, almost the most successful tennis player of all time in all tennis titles, with 101 titles. Only 8 short behind Jimmy Connors with 109. But against Rafa Nadal, we have seen it in the past, guys, that he has come short 5 times in French Open. 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008 and 2011. He has never even managed to take to take the matches to fifth set one single time, guys. One single time. Because this matchup is so horrible for Roger Federer. And some of you maybe think, but Roger Federer has improved his backhand, Roger Federer has changed his racket since they last played in French Open in 2011, the last time they played. Yeah, he has changed his racket, he has improved his backhand, I agree. But you have to have much more weapons to defeat Rafa Nadal just only with a better backhand. And Roger Federer's backhand has improved, I can agree with that. But Roger Federer's backhand is still not good enough to be able to take 3 sets from Rafa Nadal on clay. It has improved, but still not good enough. His backhand is not enough hard to push Rafa Nadal out of his comfort zone. Because Rafa Nadal will loop those heavy topspins on Roger Federer's backhand. They will land on Roger Federer's baseline, guys. They will land there. The only way Rafa can give Federer big chances for Roger to take 3 sets is if Rafa's topspins lands on the middle of the court. And they will not do that, guys. Maybe some point will do that, but in the whole match they will not land on the middle of the court, guys. Rafa's topspin will land on the baseline, guys, on Federer's backhand side. Do you think Rafa will hit money balls on Federer's forehand? No, guys, he will not. He's not stupid. Rafa Nadal is one of the most talented tennis players of all time, but he is as well most of the greatest tactical players as well. He knows how to beat Roger Federer. Just keep the long rallies, plays to Roger's backhand. Roger will hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forehands till he makes one forced errors or till he gets short. And Rafa then will step in and kill the point with his forehand. That's the one thing. Then we have the serve. Rafa doesn't have any monstrous serve, yeah, we know. But against Federer, his serve is very, very effective because he will always serve to Federer's backhand. He will not serve to Federer's forehand. He's not stupid, Rafa Nadal. He will serve to Federer's backhand. And Federer, he will slice them, or he will do short returns. That's one thing. Federer will get some chances to break, yeah. But one thing with Federer as well, he is not the most effective tennis player of converting break points. He was 2 of 18 conversion against Stan Wawrinka. Yeah, I know some of the break points that Stan saved, they were great serves. But some of them, they were not great serves. Some of them was second serves. And Federer got cautious. Federer got careful. I could see that Federer, he wanted to win those break points by Stan missing them. And Stan didn't miss a lot of break points a lot of break points that he was that was against him. He was not missing, and Federer was waiting for Stan to miss. That tactic will not work against Rafa Nadal on Friday. If Federer gets any breakpoint opportunities, which I think he will get, in a long match like it is in the Grand Slam in 5 sets, if the match goes 5 sets, which I don't believe, but you know what I mean, in the 3 sets as most, you will always sooner or later get some opportunities. And when Federer will get those opportunities, he has to be clutch, guys. He cannot be 2 of 18 like he was against Stan. He has to be clutch. He has to take his chances. He has to be brave. To have at least some chances to win at least 2 sets. At least 2 sets. Because I really believe that Federer is capable of winning at least 1 set. Like he has done 4 times in out of 5 French Open meetings. He has always won not always, but in 4 occasions he has won 1 set. Because Federer, like I told you guys 1 week or 10 days ago, Federer can hang with Nadal. 1 hour, 1 hour and a half maybe. Rafa will be there. Rafa is the most consistent tennis player of all time. This is the most difficult of facing Rafa Nadal in a Grand Slam match. Not only on clay, but in general in Grand Slam matches, but especially on clay and in Paris, of course. He is always here. That is why it is so difficult to get a win from him in a 5-set match on clay. That's why he has only lost 2 matches in 116 matches. All in all, in Davis Cup included as well. Now he has 91 matches won in French Open. Because he is always here. When you come here with Rafa, then you can challenge him. But eventually you will come down, and he will not. Like Goffin did in that 3rd round. He went up here in that 3rd set, and he won that 3rd set. But in the 4th set, Rafa was still here. Goffin just went down, dropped his level, and Rafa won the 4th set. And that's why I feel that the only player who can take Rafa Nadal down in French Open, because he can be here as well, at least more than Federer, it is Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic can push Nadal. He can be with Rafa 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. We have seen that in the past. He defeated Rafa in 2014 in that quarterfinal. He almost defeated Rafa Nadal in that 2013 semifinal clash in French Open. In my opinion, the greatest clay court match of all time. He almost, and he should have probably defeated him, but he felt in that 5th set in the net when he had that great shot to make that volley, like you all remember. And because Novak was with Rafa in 5 hours up here. But Novak just slipped little in that 5th set, and Rafa didn't, and Rafa barely won that match in 2013 semifinal. Federer cannot be with Rafa in 4 or 5 hours. The only time that I've seen Federer be with Rafa on clay in 5 sets up here in 5 hours was in that Rome final in 2006, but that was not French Open. But anyway, it was clay. And Federer had 2 match points in that 5th set in Rome 2006 final, which Federer should have converted. He missed two forehands to win that match. That is the only time. It is 13 years ago. It was in Rome Masters, but anyway, it was clay. That is the only time that I've seen Federer be with Rafa in a 5-set match on clay for 5 hours. Besides that, I have never seen Federer been able to be with Rafa up here on clay for 5 sets. Federer has managed to be with Rafa 1 hour, 1 hour and a half to win 1 set, like he has done in 4 occasions in French Open out of 5 occasions. But that is it is not enough to hang in with Rafa just for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, or maybe at least 2 hours. You have to be with him 4, 5, maybe even 6 hours. And Federer cannot do that on French Open on clay for 5 sets. I cannot imagine that Federer will do that. Even Federer's serve, it is not effective on clay, especially not against Rafa. You could see that with Stan in yesterday's match. Federer only did 5 serve aces, guys, and he landed 63% of first service. Even Stan, who doesn't have as great returns as Rafa, he could return Federer's first serves. He just was standing back very far behind on the court, and he just returned those Federer's first serves, and he took the teeth into the rallies, exactly like Rafa will do on Friday. So That's why I don't feel any excitement for this semi-final match, because I know the outcome. The outcome will be that Rafa Nadal will win, most probably in 4 sets. Most probably in 4 sets, but maybe even in straight sets, guys. I will be surprised if Federer takes 2 sets. I will be shocked if Federer wins. I will be shocked. I can't see how he will pull that upset. Because if Federer wins, it is an upset. It really is. And if Federer wins, it would be his biggest victory in a specific match in his entire career, without no doubt, guys. That's why I am not feeling any big excitement like many of the tennis lovers around the world are feeling ahead of this match. To me, it takes a Terminator to take down another Terminator, and Roger Federer is not that Terminator. Not on clay, not in 5 sets. The other Terminator, it is only Novak Djokovic. Some of you maybe believes that Dominic Thiem as well can defeat Rafa Nadal in Paris in 5 sets. Dominic Thiem has the abilities. Yes, he has that, and he has done that on clay before. Not in French Open, but on other tournaments that has not been French Open in 4 occasions. But in 5 sets, no. I don't think Dominic Thiem is a bigger threat to Rafa Nadal. No. He has faced Rafa Nadal 3 times in French Open. He has not even taken 1 set. No, guys. To me, the only player, it is Novak Djokovic. And I think Novak will get to that French Open final. But I am not 100% sure. I think he will get past Alexander Zverev today. I really think that, because Novak Djokovic has raised his level. He's looking to me like he looked in Australian Open earlier this year. So I don't think that Zverev will have any big chances of defeating Novak Djokovic. But Thiem will be a bigger threat to Novak Djokovic. Absolutely. Thiem can defeat Novak Djokovic, but my pick is still Novak. I think Novak will get past Thiem as well, because I think Thiem will defeat Karen Khachanov as well. So I think and I hope that Novak Djokovic will get to that French Open final, because I know that Rafa Nadal will do that. So we can get that clash of the titans on Sunday between Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic, because Novak Djokovic is the only player who I truly believe can defeat Rafa Nadal. It takes a Terminator to take down another Terminator, and that other Terminator is Novak Djokovic. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.